2027 elections, I am ready for a merger with PDP if it will be to the best interest of Nigerians, Peter Obi says. Can you imagine? So, and these are, is it just to the best interest of Nigerians? Because most of the time, the interest of the politicians comes first before the interest of Nigerians. So now that Peter Obi is saying this, I will sure the same interest of Nigerians we're talking about is well represented. But I think he's saying this in reaction to what Atiku said, that he is ready to support Peter Obi if the presidency in the PDP is zoned to Southeast and Peter Obi is chosen as the governor. I mean, as the presidential candidate or the person to go. So let's get into the details to see how Peter Obi reacted to that Atiku's support or promise for support. Presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Mr. Peter Obi, has given conditions that would make him accept any merger between his party and the PDP, People Democratic Party, ahead of 2027 general elections. Reacting to a statement by the presidential candidate of the PDP and former Vice President Atiku Abubakar on the likelihood of a merger between parties, the former Anambra State Governor said during an interview with Noah TV at the weekend that he would enter into a merger agreement with any party or individual only if it serves the great good of Nigeria. Okay. So he commended Atiku's willingness to support him if it benefits the southeastern region of the country and emphasized the need for any merger or alliance to be focused on improving governance and helping the poor, not just winning elections or for state capture. I commend Atiku for his statement, especially where he said he will support me if it goes to the Southeast. On the issue of a merger and the coming together of parties, I have always said that as long as any merger or any coming together is to better Nigeria and for governing properly, I am for it. If it is just a merger for election or state capture, I am not for it. I am not desperate to be president. I am desperate to see Nigeria work, especially for the poor, because we have a lot of potentials. That's good. So if the merger is to be able to govern Nigeria properly on all those things that will make a better place, I am for it. But if the merger is to be able to govern Nigeria properly, okay, and to work for all those things that will make Nigeria become a better place, I am for it. It might be at the party level, it might be at the individual level, or at any level. We must come together to be able to build a better Nigeria. So in an interview with BBC Hausa, Atiku has been engaging Obi to discuss the possibility of a merger and that he will support anyone chosen to represent the PDP in 2027, even if the candidate is from the Southeast. This is to anybody that thinks there is going to be a misunderstanding between me and Obi. Let me assure you that not even a small issue is going to happen between us. Also, we are going to be behind anybody that will be chosen to represent us in the forthcoming election. I have made it clear in my previous speeches that if our parties are going to merge to agree on a candidate from the Southeast, as long as he is qualified, we will allow it, Atiku had said. Okay, so with what is happening now, Atiku already said that, but I know that Atiku in one breath also said that as long as he's alive, he will continue to contest for presidency. So how come these are two conflicting statements, two contradicting statements? If you say if it is zoned to Southeast and it goes to Peter Obi or whoever that you are ready to support, on the other breath you are saying that you will continue to contest as long as you are alive and healthy. So which one are we talking about? Because from the Atiku's language and his body position, we know that he's very, very desperate. His posture shows that he's very, very desperate to be president. Should he be trusted in this measure? Are you sure they're not looking for Peter Obi followers, obedient followers? Because one good thing is that obedient followers will never be, hoodwinked into any political agreement. If they see that the agreement Peter Obi is entering does not benefit Nigerians, they will leave him. Just like Is it what is his name? The guy that is in the PDP personnel in Ogun State has said that if Peter Obi loses, okay, Aki Oshintoku said it, that if Peter Obi goes into a merger without being a presidential candidate in that merger, that he will lose his obedient followers, and that is the way it will go. We know about that. Okay, Aki Oshitoku is actually a Labour Party chieftain. So the thing here is that if Peter Obi goes into a merger with Atiku, and Atiku would wink him to become vice presidential candidate, then obedience will leave him. He will not win even anything from anybody. So Peter Obi needs to be very careful. He needs to be sure that what he's telling Nigerians here is exactly what he meant and what he's ready to do. Otherwise, he will be left alone. Somebody said Atiku and Obi are very reasonable. Yes, because they've agreed to make sure that there will be no quarrel among themselves. Somebody said, reasonable indeed. Time will tell. You are nothing but a Fulani. Who are you insulting? Yeah, I don't like insulting people. Okay. Somebody said, time is already out to stop wasting your time. 2027 is around the corner. What are you trying to say? This is an Agbadorian. Okay. Atiku is a serial liar and can never change. He is a serial liar. He is just a desperate, wounded liar ready to do unimaginable things to achieve his long goal, ostensibly for state capture, and Obi should know better. Exactly. Atiku would never allow power to be shifted to the south if he succeeds in deceiving Peter Obi to join the very party he had hijacked and forced Peter Obi to run away from the PDP. So Peter Obi should be very, very careful. Like I said, Atiku should never be trusted for any reason. Atiku is never sincere. Atiku is so desperate for power. He is just luring Peter Obi to join forces with him to fulfill his long-age ambition of becoming Nigerian president. So in order to loot our commonwealth, and doesn't care to sacrifice his entire family to achieve that goal. So he would never allow power to be shifted to the south. He is going to frustrate such move, just as he did in the last election when the party agreed to shift presidency to the south, forcing Peter Obi join forces to land at Labour Party. That is true. So Atiku should never be trusted. Okay. So the only problem I have is that Peter Obi need to be very intelligent, need to be very smart, need to know that Atiku is somebody who is very desperate to be president and can hoodwink anybody to agree with him. It's not going to work. Like I said earlier, the good news is that if Peter Obi makes mistake in running into PDP and failing to be the presidential candidate there, he will lose his obedient supporters. They will lose. He will lose. As long as except he is going to be the presidential candidate, then that's fine. Yeah. Somebody, please, whatever come may, Peter Obi is not going back to PDP. PDP is dead party. Can't stand in any longer as an opposition in Nigeria. Only Labour Party and other parties like NNPP, ADP, and others. Because the problem I have with PDP is that Wike is frustrating that party. And will Peter Obi go and meet Wike? Wike does not want presidency to go to Southeast. Wike hates Peter Obi. So, and the current chairman, Damagun, is Wike's candidate. Atiku does not have control over PDP anymore. So, Atiku should also not be trusted. So that is problem I have. So those two situations shows that Peter Obi can never go to that party. They will analyze it now. Wike is there as a problem. Atiku cannot control Wike and cannot control PDP. So what are we talking about? So is that Peter Obi going to go to PDP to be under the control of Damagun and Atiku and Wike? No. PDP has collapsed long ago and should never be trusted. So thank you for listening. Let's have your comment. No matter what Peter Obi has said, PDP is a no-no.